Welcome, guys, to Professor Straight. And on this video, I want to talk about a very interesting topic, which is when you shut someone's mouth, you're not proving them wrong, you're proving them right. And the idea behind it is we live in this culture of cancel culture, right? And you'll see, like, you know, uh, people get shut down on the internet, at the office place, or anywhere else, or saying certain things they're not allowed to say. And they get disciplined, basically. Okay, your mouth is shut and you're not allowed to say certain things. And I get it. I mean, that's understandable, but you know, yeah, like when you're shutting someone's mouth up, you're not proving them wrong. You're actually proving them right. And if you understand this, you'll understand a lot of things about life, and you understand a lot of things when you watch the news, why they're not saying certain things, and because of certain reasons. And I want to give an interesting story here, which is that I used to work for a corporate job. And so what happened was it was a very nasty environment, to put it simply. Okay, it was a very ugly, toxic environment. And I'm not, I've worked in shitty places, don't get me wrong, but this was ugly, ugly. This was very toxic. These were people with extreme mental health issues. And I mean, look, you're not gonna find healthy, happy people, stable people in the corporate workplace, but this is worst of the worst from what I've experienced in Canada. And yeah, I've seen a lot of. I've worked there for 1 year, but the kind of things I've experienced in that workplace are, yeah, you won't be able to, like, it's not what Canada represents. But clearly, these are the worst of the worst Canadians. But I never went to HR. I've experienced so much at that workplace. I could have gone to HR. I could have recorded them. I had evidence. I did have some recordings. I could have gone to HR. I could have told them about it, but I never did because I knew that if I do that, I'm gonna be the one whose mouth will be shut. And they do it in a very sleeky way because if you're the person who's been the victim of that kind of situation, that kind of racial abuse, what corporate Canada, corporate America, what the corporate world usually does is the first thing they'll do is try to silence the victim. Yes, the harasser will be disciplined, punished, whatever, but the victim must be silenced because the victim is making the corporate company look bad. Okay. And so as a victim, I have to be silenced. And they can't just straight out silence me because it looks bad on them, right? It's not legal to straight out silence someone. They have the right to voice concerns, right? And yeah, so this is something a lot of people don't understand when they think about the Western corporate world, which is that in the Western corporate world, Canada, America, especially European Union is different. Europe is actually much more chill. UK is more subtle, but they try to silence the victim there too. But especially Canada and America, if you're a victim in the corporate world and you think you're going to go to HR and get justice or go to court and get justice, you are in for a big, big problem. Okay, because yes, they're going to discipline the harasser, whatever. They're going to warn him or her or whatever. But as the victim, their goal is to silence you because you're making the company look bad. Okay, just understand that. And so I went through a lot of kind of abuse in that corporate world in less than 1 year. And towards the end of it, my mental health was like it was almost. I don't think I had any mental health left at the end of it. But I knew that complaining won't work because I'm gonna be the one who's gonna be silenced. But yeah, I went anyway. So I I was about to quit the job, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna complain about this mother. I'm gonna complain about these guys, these assholes, before I quit. That's kind of what I did. And what ended up happening was, so I complained about these guys, and Yeah, the complaint about the racial abuse. It wasn't just guys though. Like the corporate world, you come across extremely mentally unstable females as well. Like the girls who work in the corporate world are not from healthy family backgrounds. Okay, no girl from a healthy family background will tolerate that kind of abuse and stay in that world. Okay, it's girl who comes from broken homes who stay in the corporate world. And so yeah, like I was, I went to HR. I was trying to document everything. Obviously, they're gonna deny it, blah blah blah. That's fine, but it reached a point where the HR wasn't doing anything. The HR was trying to cover the company's tracks and their own tracks, and obviously the HR was trying to side with the senior management in that department, obviously. So I was, instructed by someone high in the leadership in the company to bring my complaints to the executive team. And mark my word, I haven't said anything aggressive. Maybe I wrote long emails, but no aggression was displayed in any of the emails. No threats, no aggression, nothing. Just documenting everything I witnessed. Just email, long email documenting everything I witnessed. I sent it to the executive team, the shareholders, basically the executive team. And yeah, a few months later, I get an email from the head of HR of the company, and he's like, the email's line is cease and desist. And I mean, that's a formal way to say shut the fuck up, basically. Okay. The email's name is cease and desist. And the idea is shut the F up, basically, stop it. You're making the ass look bad. You know, and yeah, so that's when I realized that this is how the corporate world works. These people are, you know, their job is to basically, silence the victim, okay? Because the victim is the one who is likely to have the loud mouth, especially if he has evidence, if he or she has evidence, right, against the harasser, then yeah, you have to silence the victim. So how this head of HR went about it was he wrote me an email titled "Cease and Desist," and he was like, uh, basically that means shut the F up, right? But in the email they said that name, so they misspelled my name. Now, I thought about it back then. I thought that was a mistake, but now that I think about it more often, that wasn't a mistake. They wanted to threaten me, but also deny legal accountability that they're threatening me. If you understand what I'm saying. They sent me an email, the head of HR. He introduced himself in the email as head of HR, and he said this email is addressed to my name, but one of the letter in my name was wrong. So that email, on the surface, it's a threat. Shut the F up, or we're gonna take legal action against you. Um, that's on the surface, but because they've got my name spelling wrong, they can't deny legal accountability that they're threatening me. That's how it works. Okay, they're threatening me without threatening me. That's basically what's going on there. And yeah, so he was like, "Oh, it has come to my attention that you're sending unsolicited and aggressive emails. No, none of which were just slow. My emails were not unsolicited. I had the right to complain my issues wherever I could. Right, that was my right." And they were not aggressive. No aggression was displayed in any of the emails. I was just documenting everything. It was long, but obviously he made that up. And the reason he could deny it in the future is because he got my name one letter wrong. He's like, "Oh no, I sent it to you by mistake. It's not your. See, the name is wrong. I was trying to send it to someone else." It's really that simple. That's how they do it. And yeah, it's a very simple thing to do. And yeah, so what ended up happening was, so he basically, in the email, he told me to not contact anyone with Nmax, which he doesn't have any legal rights to. Okay, yeah, sure, I can't email or send any phone calls to any Nmax Nmax email or Nmax number. That's different. But outside work, what? If I meet someone, an ex employee outside work, he has no legal right to tell me to not talk to that person, right? Outside work, it's my life, right? And but yeah, he was basically trying to, even though I don't work there anymore, he was trying to basically tell me, control me, and control my communications. And the idea was that he knew I had contacts higher in the leadership team inside the organization, and he was trying to stop the communication between me and the leadership team that was helping me with basically um, solving my issues, resolving my issues. That's basically what was going on there. And yeah, so when that happened, basically, it was, and yeah, so obviously I didn't contact any NMIX, you know, employees after that. So I'm not going to tell you the company name. I'm using a generic company name. So the actual company name I'm not telling you. So the name I'm using is just a fake name. Okay. And but yeah, so then the company basically, I stopped contacting people in that company. But like that story, until that point, I thought I was probably in the wrong. I thought I was just playing the victim. I thought I wasn't actually the victim. But the moment he sent me that cease and desist letter, I realized that he's not shutting me up because I'm wrong. He's shutting my mouth because I'm right. And he knows it. And this is the kind of sneaky way they do it. So honestly, that's why I tell people, like, don't go to work at corporate world because you're not gonna get justice there. Okay? You're not. You're not gonna get justice there. It's a ruthless world, and yeah, so just be careful about what you do in that world. And if you can get out, get out. Trust me, that paycheck, that is not worth it. It's really not worth it. And so yeah, that's what I tell people, because there won't be any. So it's gonna be very subtle. Okay, the mental abuse is not gonna be direct. It's not gonna be some verbal shouting match, but it's gonna be very subtle, petty, passive aggressive ways to get back at you. And those are sometimes worse than direct ways because yeah. Oh, yeah, I just want to talk about that because when you read the news, for example, they'll tell you that, oh, I'm not at liberty to share this information. We don't know anything about this. Just understand that when the news tells you that they don't know anything about what's going on in certain situation, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't know anything. That means that they don't know anything that they can share with you. And that's maybe because they've been sent a cease and desist, a shut the F up letter to basically make that statement to the public because they probably know something, which is true, but they can't tell it because the truth will probably hurt someone. And so, yeah, when the news tells you they don't know something about certain things, just take it with a pinch of salt that they probably know something and they've been told to shut up by someone higher up. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the end of this video. I'll come back with another one. And yeah, until then, peace.